It's mailbag time here on NFL Daily Live. I am Tom Downey, answering all your questions on the NFL as part of today's video. Super chat here from Mark. As for the Cowboys, we need a center, guard, DT, safety. Who do you see in the draft that has a great chance to be there and be a real difference maker in round one? At center, there's one name, Tyler Linderbaum. Stretch that he's there, kind of like how CeeDee Lamb was a stretch in the end. Guard, two names, Kenyon Green at A&M, Zion Johnson from Boston College. Defense tackle, some deeper names depending on what you want. A Trayvon Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Jordan Davis, all from Georgia. That's crazy. And also throw in the name DeMarvin Leal, who I don't love in round one. Safety, Hamilton's not going to be there. I would probably look more towards round two, but maybe Daxton Hill or Jaquan Brisker at safety. Robert Bruce, hey Jack, hey Tom, wondering, do the Patriots take a wide receiver in the first round? And if so, do you think a quality receiver will still be there? Absolutely. I think they should, and I think there will be. It is a deep receiver class. I think you've got Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State, Jameson Williams out of Alabama, Drake London out of USC. Who am I forgetting? Treylon Burks out of Arkansas, the guy just mocked to the Patriots. I think one of those five is there, and even Jahan Dotson could be a decent pick back end of round one. Anel Storer, what do you think this was trading James Washington a third-round pick for Jimmy G? You can't do it. He's a free agent, so you cannot trade him. I think your value, though, is decent-ish. You're throwing in a player and a third. I think a second, though, is probably where you got to start that convo if you're Pittsburgh. So you can't trade him, but decent idea overall. From Alexander Madison. Spelled differently, though. Funny, Alex. Should the Falcons trade Matt Ryan to the Titans and then draft a QB? I don't know if that's the case for the Falcons. I think if you're going to do that, you should have done it last year. Who are you taking? A prospect not as good as Justin Fields, not as good as Trey Lance was, who you could have taken last year. So, well, maybe not Trey Lance, but you know what I mean. I think what makes the most, actually a chance, I think the most sense in the end is they stick with Matt Ryan for a little bit longer. Maybe day two takes one. I don't think they're going to trade Matt Ryan this year. Now, of these starting QBs, and we can include guys like a Sam Darnold, a Carson Wentz, etc., not that great of starters, how many starting QBs get dealt this year? I'm going to make this the pinned comment on today's video. And if you get the ad break on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and drop a number prediction for me. From Maxim, that's what I'm just going to go with there. I think it's smart for them to draft Willis or Pickett or try to trade for a QB like Watson or Russell Wilson. I would take a tackle in the draft and then trade for a QB. So here's your problem. If you trade for Watson or Wilson, you're giving up your first-round pick. You're not getting a premium QB without moving that first-rounder. So I would still do that because you got to find your QB or your head coach is going to get fired. And because of that, I don't like Malik Willis' fit in Carolina. I think he needs time to grow and learn and develop, and I don't think he's going to get that time properly in a place like Carolina. So I would say trade for a QB. Failing that, maybe you consider Pickett at number 6. Bossman Fat, what is Tank Lawrence's trade value? It's not that high. Cooper's the one with trade value, Amari Cooper. Lawrence, with the way his contract is set up, it's so expensive. I think it is either a extension, a restructure, a pay cut, or he gets cut altogether. The Pass Master. I think the Vikings get O-line or defensive help from the draft. I think early, you're probably going to be looking more along the lines at defensive help. Your offensive line, as long as you play Wyatt Davis, you've invested a lot there. Maybe Tyler Linderbaum. I think overall you're in pretty good shape, though, along the offensive line. Free agents, you know what, Pass Master? Make sure you are subscribed to our Vikings YouTube channel. We will break down plenty of true free agent targets, more than just so I can give you like a 30-second spiel. So subscribe, and you'll see what we got over there. And if you love the NFL, subscribe to us here at Chat Sports, youtube.com/ChatSportsTV. Daily NFL news, mailbags, trades, free agency, draft, all of it. Hit that big red button and subscribe. Taylor Holland, love the show. Perfect timing coming after the sub read. You guys should do a top 50 prospect NFL pro comp show. I'll try and do a big board at some point this year, and in that scenario, I'll throw in some pro comps. I don't like to force them, though, because I do them as like play style and athletic ability and size, and it always ends up getting interpreted as, oh, you mean he's going to be as good as that player, which is almost never what I'm going for, but that's just how comps are. I get it. Second part is, would love it. Which team likely trades back up into round one? Ooh, good question. I could see a team like the Jets have the draft capital to pull it off. Now, they're pretty aggressive, so I'll go with the Jets. 2 early second rounders. They could get aggressive with some of those picks. They've got a lot of them this year. So I will shoot my shot. Give me the Jets this year. From Bruma, the Titans go receiver in the first round. And how much do you trust Tannehill this year? I would wager over 50% chance they go pass catcher, either receiver or tight end. The value and need is right with where they're picking this year. As for trusting Tannehill, he's in what I call the tier 3. You've got like your freaks like Mahomes, your franchise guys. Tier 3 is he's good. We could do a lot worse, but I don't know if we're ever going to do enough with him. And I just need to make the playoffs, not to make a deep run, because his cast is pretty good, and he just can't quite get it done. Valentine's Day, it's come and gone. And if you didn't get your girl or guy something, you're probably in the doghouse. So you got to go above and beyond to fix that. Here's one step of what I suggest. Buy him or her a new NFL jersey. And I'm hooking you guys up with deals under $90. All the teams, tons of players. Chatsports.com/jersey deal. Both men and women's jerseys are available. So if you messed up and you're sleeping on the couch, here's one step in how to fix that process here. Chatsports.com/jersey deal. Links in the comments section and in the description. ECK Sports. Should the Saints just blow it up? I mean, they're so in the negative, and yeah, they keep doing the restructure thing, but I think they keep finding themselves in the negative every year. This is the downside to doing this. They kept their window open at its biggest point for years with Drew Brees, which is the right move. But Brees is gone. Sean Payton is gone. I think they should rebuild. It's not even a full blow-it-up scenario. You would have a down year or maybe 2. So because of that, I would do that. I would eat some bad contracts, reset a little bit, get the salary cap healthier, and then go get a new QB. Now, if you can get a Wilson, a Rodgers, a Murray, different conversation. I think that's a bit unlikely. Because of that, I would embrace a little of I'll call it a reset for the Saints. Evan Hinders, Vikings straight up to get Kayvon Thibodeaux. They're picking at 12 right now. Let's say he slides to 6 with Carolina. In that scenario, you could maybe offer your first and your second and, I got it. I got it. Your first round pick, maybe your first round pick, but you package Kirk Cousins and something else to get to number 6. Maybe it is your first round pick since it's not a great contract, but you package Kirk Cousins and your first, and you're picking number 6. You take Kayvon Thibodeaux. You still got to figure out QB. You sign somebody, you draft somebody else, whatever. But that's how you get up to Carolina's pick at 6. Now, maybe you want to keep Kirk Cousins. If you're doing that because your quarterback's in need, maybe it's your first, second, and maybe something else. But he's got to get out of the top 5 to make that feasible for you to go up and go get him. From Black Panther, Kirk Cousins, Steelers. Who says no? Pittsburgh, maybe? I don't have a good feel for Kirk Cousins, speaking of him overall. Massive cap hit. He's in that Tannehill range. Like, he's good, and you could do so much worse than him. But are you going to be able to do enough with him at QB? I'm not sure. Could he be a hat on the cheap? Like, if Minnesota rebuilds, could I get Kirk for a second or third? maybe it starts to make a little bit of sense. So I don't know what happens with Cousins. If he does get dealt, yeah, Pittsburgh's probably on that list of teams that make some semblance of sense. So with Cousins, will he be traded this offseason? Shoot your shot in the comments section. Y for yes, N for no. From Niner Faithful, ooh, is that a primetime photo? I love it. Are the Saquon Barkley to the Niners rumors true? Also, when I'm on the Niners, but I'm sure it'll be another D4 situation with the injuries. Thoughts? I don't know if they're true. I think the Giants are okay with moving him. And if so, San Francisco does make sense. I don't think he would be that expensive. So I would have some interest. I would also guess he's just back with the Giants for one more year. As for D4, that situation, I get it. The Ford trade was a disaster because he has not been good for San Francisco at all. From Mike Rawson, will Gronk play for the Bengals? Maybe. Might be more likely he just retires, but I think it makes some sense for him. I mean, he said it does, right? And the Bengals' top guy's a free agent. So maybe. I'll say this. It'd be a good look for Cincinnati to get someone of Gronk's caliber, of his recognition, his name brand in. I'd be okay with it. From Jameson Jonah. I love Jameson. Fantastic drink. Can the Ravens trade for Xavien Howard? I don't think so. You're paying Marlon Humphrey massive money. You're going to give Xavien Howard massive money as well? Probably not. It's an unreal pairing. Best team to do in the NFL if you pulled that off. Plus Miami, I don't think they want to rebuild quite like that. Now, the Howard trade rumors, I'm sure, will be back throughout the offseason. But I want you right now to name a player who you think gets traded this offseason. Let me know in the comments right now. Bob Johnson, if the Bears trade Khalil Mack, what can we get for him? Probably some good picks. Also, you should not want to trade Khalil Mack because he's good at football and you're trying to win games right now. From Dan233, will the Lions ever be good? Yes, they will. At some point in the lifetime of football in the NFL, the Lions will win another playoff game. I don't know when, but it'll happen at some point.